let's get right into it. So many people are asking, what's the secret to making that first million? Is there some magic formula, a lucky break? Well, today we're going to unpack a really powerful framework from Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, and it suggests that the real path to wealth, it starts in a place most people never even think to look. And this right here, this is the heart of it all. The biggest thing standing in your way isn't the economy or the market or not having enough startup cash. Nope. It's the battle happening right between your ears. The journey to $1 million, it doesn't start with an action plan. It starts with an internal belief. It's about you, fundamentally truly believing that this is possible for you. So that brings us to the absolute foundation of everything, your mindset. The source material just nails it with that ancient proverb. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It really is that simple. If you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, well, you're also right. Your bank account is pretty much a mirror, reflecting your deepest beliefs about money. And you know, there's actually a name for this trap that so many of us fall into. It's called learned helplessness. Basically, after you've been knocked down again and again and again, you just stop getting back up. The source calls it being hope fatigued. And wow, isn't that a powerful idea? You get so tired of hoping that you just quit. And that psychological wall, it's the biggest hurdle you have to clear before any strategy has a chance to work. Okay, so if mindset is the ground floor, what's the actual structure we're building? It's this huge idea. You've got to flip the script. You don't get wealth and then, poof, you're a wealthy person. It's the other way around. You have to become the kind of person who can attract, manage, and grow wealth first. And the order here is absolutely critical. It's be, then do, then have. See, most of us, we jump straight to the do. We're always asking, what should I do? What actions do I take to make money? But if you haven't done the work to become first, any money you make is probably just going to slip right through your fingers. It's the classic lottery winner story, right? They had the money, but they never became the person who knew how to handle it. And just like that, it's gone. Man, I love this analogy. It's just so perfect. You can't just change your location and expect your life to magically transform. If your internal capacity, your skills, your character, your mindset hasn't expanded, you'll just go back to your old ways, no matter where you are. The change has to be an inside-out job. Period. Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually become this person? Well, the framework gives us 3 keys. First step, knowledge. You got to study wealth to create wealth. Simple as that. Second, and this one is huge, is how you view losses. Stop seeing them as failures. Start seeing them as school fees, the tuition you pay for your financial education. And finally, sacrifice. When you can give money away without it having a hold on you, you prove that you've mastered it and you're ready for the next level. All right, we've got the mindset, we've got the framework. Now it's time to get practical. Let's talk about the engine, the thing that actually gets you there, what Dr. Emmanuel calls your wealth vehicle. So I want you to ask yourself this right now. What vehicle are you driving? Think about your job or your business like you're on a highway. Are you pedaling a little tricycle as hard as you can, going nowhere fast? Or are you behind the wheel of something built for speed, like a Range Rover? Because trust me, the vehicle you choose has a massive impact on where you end up. And just as important, you've got to know which vehicles are just total dead ends. I'm talking about things like begging, constantly borrowing, stealing, or gambling. Those aren't strategies. And then there are the others, the ones that seem a bit safer but are just as flawed, like depending on a relationship or just waiting around for an inheritance. None of that is sustainable because you're not the one creating the value. Okay, this next quote is blunt, but it's so important. You just can't outsource your financial future to someone else. Believing you're just going to marry into money, that's not a plan. That's giving up on your own potential. The real lasting wealth, that comes from the value you build yourself. So when it comes to your own vehicle, you've really got 2 main paths. Are you going to play the volume game, selling a ton of stuff for a tiny profit on each one? Think selling biscuits or oranges. Or are you going to play the margin game, where you only need 1 or 2 big sales to hit your goal? We're talking cars, real estate, that kind of thing. And look, one isn't better than the other, but you have to know which game you're playing. Let me tell you a quick story that just shows this perfectly. There's this super talented math tutor in Nigeria. He's great at what he does, but he goes into a wealthy neighborhood and tells potential clients his fee is just 5,000 naira. And what happens? Crickets. Nothing. The phone just goes silent. So what was the problem? He was actually too cheap. In that market, his low price sent a signal of low value. People were thinking, for only 5,000, this guy can't be any good. See, he had the skill, but his vehicle, his pricing strategy, was completely wrong for the road he was on. But then, he changed his strategy. He took a deep breath and quoted a new price, 100,000 naira, for the exact same service. And guess what? Bam! He got the job. Same person, same skills, completely different vehicle. It just goes to show you, sometimes it's not about working harder, it's about positioning yourself smarter. All right, let's bring it all home. You can have the perfect mindset, you can have the perfect vehicle, but none of it, and I mean none of it, matters without this last piece. We're talking about execution and management. This is where the rubber meets the road. At the end of the day, it all boils down to this. You gotta get to work. Believing you can do it is the fuel, for sure, but action is the engine. You have to back up that faith with massive, intelligent effort. You can't just sit there and hope for it to happen. You have to get up and do the work. And once that money does start coming in, your job isn't over. Now you have to manage it properly. The principles here are all about being a good steward of what you earn. Give back, take care of your responsibilities and your family, and then, this is key, you save and you invest to keep that cycle of growth going. That's not just how you get wealth, it's how you keep it. So there you have it. That's the framework. Develop the mindset, become the person, choose the right vehicle, and then execute. The blueprint is right here in front of you. So now, the only question left is for you. What are you going to do about it? What's your first move?